A violent exorcism unfolds inside a cramped apartment late at night. A young woman thrashes on a bed, her body twisting in ways that should not be possible, bones snapping back into place with sickening sounds. Priests shout prayers, holy water splashes across the room, and a father watches in horror as the ritual spirals out of control. The woman's name is Hannah Grace, and whatever has taken hold of her is not leaving quietly. In a moment of panic and desperation, her own father smothers her with a pillow, believing death is the only way to stop what lives inside her. The room falls silent. The demon seems gone. But the peace does not last. Months later, Megan Reed is barely holding herself together. Once a promising police officer, she survived a traumatic shooting that left her partner dead and her own hands shaking uncontrollably. Guilt, nightmares, and a dependency on prescription medication have driven her out of the police force and into isolation. Megan is trying to stay sober, but every day feels like a battle she is slowly losing. Desperate for structure and something to keep her mind busy during long, sleepless nights, she takes a job working the graveyard shift at a hospital morgue. The job is simple on paper. Receive bodies, log them, prepare them for autopsy or release. Minimal human interaction. Quiet. Predictable. Exactly what Megan thinks she needs. On her first night, she meets Andrew Kurtz, a seasoned mortuary technician who walks her through the basics. He notices her trembling hands but says nothing, only offering calm instructions and dry humor. Megan senses that he has his own reasons for preferring the night shift. As the hours pass, Megan settles into the eerie stillness of the morgue. The hum of fluorescent lights and refrigeration units becomes a strange kind of comfort. The dead do not judge. They do not ask questions. For the first time in a while, Megan feels she might be able to survive this. Then, close to midnight, an unmarked amble. Megan sits at her desk staring at the name Hannah Grace written on a scrap of paper, the letters looking heavier than they should. The events of the night replay in her mind on a loop. The twitching fingers. The impossible strength. The sound of bones snapping back into place. She presses her palms against her eyes, trying to ground herself, reminding herself that trauma and withdrawal can do terrible things to the brain. Hallucinations. Paranoia. Fear feeding on fear. Still, the smell of sulfur lingers in the air. Andrew suggests they keep the body locked in cold storage until morning and report the strange paperwork to their supervisor. Megan agrees, though every instinct in her body screams that leaving Hannah alone is a mistake. As they secure the drawer, Megan swears she feels a vibration run through the metal, like a distant heartbeat. Andrew leaves again, called away by a security issue on another floor. Megan is alone once more. The morgue feels different now. Heavier. The silence presses against her ears, broken only by the soft hum of machinery. Megan tries to distract herself by cleaning instruments and organizing files, but her eyes keep drifting toward the cold storage units. She can almost feel something on the other side of the steel, waiting. Her radio crackles to life without warning. At first it is just static, then a low whisper seeps through, layered and distorted. Megan leans closer, her skin prickling. Megan. Her breath catches. No one should know her name down here. She grabs the radio, demanding to know who is playing tricks, but the whisper fades back into static. The lights flicker again, longer this time, and when they stabilize, one of the cold storage drawers is open. The drawer holding Hannah Grace. Megan's legs feel weak as she approaches. She tells herself she will close it and walk away. That is all. Nothing more. But as she stands over the body, she notices something new. The symbols carved into Hannah's skin look darker, fresher. Hannah crashes through the weakened door, metal screaming as it twists around her body. Andrew shoves Megan aside just in time, and they sprint down the hallway as Hannah's inhuman shriek echoes behind them. Emergency lights flash red, bathing the corridors in a hellish glow. Doors slam shut automatically as the hospital's systems begin to fail one by one. They duck into an autopsy room and barricade the door with a rolling table. Andrew fumbles with his radio, calling for security, for anyone, but all that comes back is static layered with whispering voices. Megan presses her hands to her ears, her breathing shallow. The whispers are clearer now. They are no longer random. They are talking to her. Images flood Megan's mind. The night of the shooting. The gunfire. Her partner collapsing beside her. The sound of her own scream as she froze, unable to move. Hannah's voice weaves through the memories, mocking and coaxing at the same time. You failed him, the voice hisses. You can make it stop. Megan sinks to the floor, shaking. The demon is not just tormenting her. It is offering her something. Relief. Silence. An end to the pain that has followed her every waking moment. Andrew watches helplessly as Megan struggles, unsure what to do. He grabs a metal tray as the door dents inward again, Hannah slamming into it from the other side. The hinges creak. They do not have much time. Megan forces herself to stand. She realizes something crucial then. The demon inside Hannah feeds on brokenness. On guilt and addiction and despair. It came here because Hannah's body was unfinished business, but it is staying because Megan is vulnerable. If she runs, it will follow. She remembers something from the police report. The exorcism failed because the ritual was interrupted. The priests believed killing Hannah would end it, but death only trapped the demon inside a vessel that could no longer fight back. The demon was never expelled. It was contained. And now that containment is morning light creeps weakly through the hospital windows as alarms finally die down. The incinerator cools, its roar fading into a low mechanical hum. Megan sits on the floor outside the control room, wrapped in shock, soot smudged across her face. Her body aches, but she is alive. Andrew limps toward her from the hallway, blood on his temple, eyes wide with disbelief. For a long moment, neither of them speaks. Security and hospital staff arrive in waves. Questions are asked. Reports are taken. The official story becomes an electrical failure combined with a violent psychotic episode involving an unidentified body. No one mentions demons. No one mentions whispers or moving corpses. The hospital prefers explanations that fit neatly into forms. Hannah Grace's remains are listed as destroyed due to contamination. Megan knows better. Later, as dawn breaks fully, Megan sits alone in a small hospital room. A doctor checks her vitals and gently asks about her medication. Megan admits everything. The addiction. The relapse temptations. The fear that she is losing control. For the first time in months, she does not lie. The doctor nods, not judging, and recommends inpatient treatment. Megan agrees without hesitation. Before leaving, she returns to the morgue one last time. The place feels empty now. Quiet in a way that feels earned rather than threatening. She stands where Hannah's drawer once was, half expecting something to move. Nothing does. But the air is not completely clean. As Megan turns to go, she catches her reflection in a steel cabinet. For a split second, her reflection smiles when she does not. Her breath catches, heart slamming in her chest. She blinks, and the reflection returns to normal. Pale. Tired. Human. She tells herself it is stress. Trauma does not vanish overnight. Days pass. Megan enters rehab, surrounded by sterile walls and well-meaning counselors. The nights are the hardest. Without medication to numb her thoughts, her dreams return in force. Sh.